Hello there, today we're going to be building this simple A-frame design that I've come up with. It's very easy to build because, there's a very simple shape to it, but it does have a lot of character and I really love this design. Now, I do use a lot of metal in this build and also some greenhouse stuff, which might not necessarily be the most easy material to use. So imagine if you're early on in the game and you want to build this, you could start out by using wood and maybe paint the roof black because it looks very similar to this material, or you can use stone as well and then maybe just use it temporarily until you can upgrade to the metal look eventually. Okay, so to get started with this build, you need to find a space where you want to build the house. What you need is a foundation like this. I made it out of ceilings raised with some pillars. It is 10 by 13. That is the size you need at least. And then, of course, you can make your own additions, your pathways of it, stairs, balconies, whatever you want, whatever it is that you need in your location or your situation. But it is what you need, and we're gonna build the house on top of it. The material list will also be only for the house, not for this platform, not for the railings along the platform or anything, just the house itself, which you can change. And if you want to build this maybe as like an early base or like a starter house, you could of course start out with using wood instead of the metal, or even using stone if you still want to have two different materials. Alright, let's get started with the actual build, and that is going to be, of course, where the house is going to be. So you want to make sure that you have two left on the side, place a wall like that on both sides. That is basically going to be the corner of our main house, and then in the middle of this, we want to build a big gate, because that is going to be one of our main entrances, and in this case it makes the most sense having it on this side going this way. So we want to just have this so we can see where we're going to build everything. Then you want to have your metal pillars going up 3 high along the side so we can integrate this to the build, and then have beams going across like so. That is basically all we need to do right now for that structure. Then we're going to work on this little side bit, which we want to have, of course, going like this, because we want to get the shape of the A-frame going. We want to have the quarter walls go 2 up. Make sure that you flip the second one. We do the same on this side. So start with the normal one, then flip it and place one on top. Then we do the same on this inside. What I do is just place 4 normal ones. Then I flip it and then I make to do the top one and then the second from the bottom, so that we have the right one fitting. You can basically check if you're doing it right, if it fits into the wall you just placed. So like that. I just find it easier to place 4 in a row instead of switching every time. And then we want to place the quarter ceilings here so that we can actually place oh no, not that big thing. We can place another wooden wall here, and of course we can make the same shape. Basically we are doing this well, one, because it looks like a nice support for the whole building, but also because we need this as a way to make the roof align nicely. So you should end up with something shaped like this, and then we want to basically do the same thing on the other side as well. So I'm gonna place a wall again, 2 from this side, 2 from that side, same thing on the other side as well, so that we have this shape. And then we're just gonna repeat the same wooden structure. We're not gonna use a gate on this side. You could, if you need it in your base, like the big metal gate, you could, oh, you need to flip it. You could place it on both sides if you need to be able to have that big entrance on both sides. I just like to do it on one side. I think it looks a little bit nicer. So we're gonna go 4 high again on both of these, and then flip them and place them in the right spot so everything connects nicely. Take out our ceilings and fill this in like so, and then finish this shape like this. There we go. Those are our two shapes pretty much ready. Then we can do the rest of the walls. For one side, it's going to be relatively easy. You're just going to build a wall. You can place this one as well, so it connects up nicely, or you can use quarter walls. For time management sake, I just use the whole walls, but if it won't allow you, just use quarter walls to fill in the little gap. There we go. We just fill in the entire wall. You just want to have whole walls here because you won't be able to see this once we do the roof anyway. And then on this part, actually, we do not need to do the middle part because this is where we're going to have a little extension. So the middle three, we actually don't want to have because this is where we're going to have the little jut out towards here, which is going to add a little bit more detail to the whole build. Okay, so now we have something like this, and we're going to start with our greenhouse walls. I also always try to make sure that I flip them the right way. So I think the green part is supposed to be on the outside. So you flip them like so. Connect this up. Do the same thing on this side as well. And then, of course, go in with the sloped ones. Then on top here, we want to finish off the shape so that we got our A-frame on that side completely done. That's also why you need the pillars, so you can connect everything like this. Okay, and then for the other side, we're doing it slightly differently. Again, if you want this gate on both sides, you could, but I think it looks nicer to have some variation. So we're gonna go for the double door again, making sure we face it the right way. And then we can go 3 high with these. And then for the sides, we just do the same, filling it in with the walls. And then making sure that we have the A-frame shape with the sloped pieces like so. So you should end up with something like these. You could have normal walls on these as well, but I like the look of the different shapes you get with these. And I just fill this in with doors all the way through. Then for this side, of course, we also want to have a nice door here. Again, make sure to face it the right way. And then we can just connect this like so. We can go 2 high with these. So we'll also make sure that our walls are going up like that. And then we have the base shape of this all ready. And then we can start filling in the roof and adding some more details. Okay, well, let's start by filling in some of these doors, because then we can actually see the entirety of these walls. So you just want to enter the doors, and these of course are the only ones you're going to use, but you'll have that as a look. And then again, this is the only door that you're going to use. We're going to grab some pillars, and we're going to do that on these sides, because the connection of these wall types, I don't really like them too much. So this makes it look a little bit nicer in my opinion. So then we should end up with something like so. Then we can start by placing in the roof. So you want to line it up like so that it has an overlap on the outside. Connect it all the way down and all the way up. Fairly easy like that. And then here you want to make sure, because if we go like this, it's going to overlap inside. So instead, we're going to place this one first before we connect it, so it has no overlap on the inside. And then here, we're going to get a problem again. If we continue like so, it's going to overlap on the inside. So we need to create another little wall like so, where we can connect our roof to and make sure that we have no weird overlap on the inside. So we do it like this, and we can do, of course, the same on the other side. So let's make sure that we have these two already in place. Place these roofs again the right way and just connect it like so. So we have no weird overlapping on the inside and just everything. Then the rest of these can be relatively easy. We can just connect them all the way through. And we just make sure that we have the entire roof looking like this. Now, of course, we need to fill in this gap, so we can take some metal ceilings and fill in the roof like this. But this looks a little bit weird, so we take some quarter ceilings and we go along the edge, so that again we have a little bit of an overlap, because that, in my opinion, looks a million times better than just having the roof end right away. And then you should have something like this on this side. I think this looks really nice and cool. And then for the platform, this is where you could have some stairs in this case, because we're quite up high, or you can have a walkway. Depends very much on where you've built this. Then for the other side of the roof, now you have a couple of options. You can just fill the entire thing in with metal, or even stone or wood if you're using different materials, because you can still build this A-frame, of course, if you're using other materials. If you want to use this as a starter home, you're probably not gonna want to use metal, or are even able to because of levels. So then you might want to use wood, or maybe stone that you still have the different colored textures. And then even if you are building it like I'm showing you with metal, we have some options, because we can fill in this entire roof like this, but we can also add some greenhouse roofs. So what we could do is add in some skylights, basically, by placing some greenhouse roofs. Now you can go all the way if you want to, like you could fill all of this in, but that might be a little bit excessive. So what I like to do is make a little divide in the middle, and then also make sure that you have 2 on the outside, because then you go for a little bit of a more balanced look, in my opinion. So we have 2 big windows here. But again, if you want more windows, more light, you can do so. You could try the same on the other side. If you really want a window, you could add windows in here. But because of this bit that is sticking out, I wouldn't really do that. But if you need more light, you can. Because the effect is something like this. You'll see the sun coming in. Of course, you have some views from outside, even though these textures are maybe not as clear as I might like. But still, it's a pretty decent look. And that is basically your entire simple A-frame house done and ready to be decorated. Now what I do if I build it on a platform like this, we of course want to have some railings around. Now a nice way to do this is make sure you do a quarter wall first, so you can connect your pillar like so to the right height, and then you can pick this up, turn it into a railing, and then you have a nice looking railing with a pillar of the right height. And I would go around your entire platform like this. I think this is probably the best look for these little railings. But again, if you want to use different materials, that's fine as well. But you should end up with a house something like this. And then of course you can try and do different things with it. Make sure you decorate it nicely. And if you do decide to build this or any other variation with stone or wood, feel free to share it with me. You can join my Discord and share it there, or you can find me on Twitter or X or whatever it's called and show me some screenshot over there as well. Now, just as a way of showing what it could look like if you do this with stone, it would turn into something like this. Let's quickly do like half of the build. In my opinion, it's not as nice as what we have with metal, but if you maybe want to start using this design early on, you definitely can, because stone probably a lot easier to get early on than the metal. And then you could even just, you know, start with the stone and upgrade it later, add in the windows later if you don't have that material either. Like, it's definitely possible. I think, in my opinion, probably stone better than going all wood. Although if you want to really go for the A-frame house look and maybe get closer actually to this, what you could also do instead of using stone is using a wood and then painting the roof black, because that would get you pretty close to this and it would be a lot cheaper as well. Okay, I spent a little bit of time finishing the platform. So what I would do is what I just showed you, make a railing all the way around and figure out where you want to have some access points. So in my case, I've got a staircase up here, made it too wide, so it's easier to maybe bring a dino inside if we want to offload some stuff. We've got a one wide stair here, just, you know, normal access point to exit over here. Nothing on this side. It's just going to be a nice balcony to enjoy the view, maybe making some seats here, you know, to really appreciate this nice view. And then on this side again, we've got one wide. We've got a little walkway going over the river and, you know, connecting up to so. But it really depends on where you want to build this. But I think this looks really nice. It's a very nice A-frame, a little bit of a more modern looking build, but definitely fits in ARK very well. And if you're wondering where the location is, we are right here on the map. So if you want to look for this spot with the waterfalls, which is absolutely beautiful, you can do so as well. That was it for this simple A-frame house design. If you want to see more of this style, so maybe some different shaped houses or some bigger designs even, let me know down in the comments below and make sure to subscribe so maybe I can help you out with some other designs in this same style. Thank you for watching the video and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.